So I would like to what I do is we create awareness around hypnosis because बहुत लोगों को ये डर है hypnosis मतलब क्या मैं बंदर बन जाऊंगा, क्या मुझसे कुछ करवाया जाएगा, क्या मैं hypnotize हो सकता हूँ और हो गया तो क्या मैं वहीं अटका रहूंगा. I was very intrigued with the extraterrestrial phenomena.
Aliens and
Aliens, not aliens. Aliens is a term which is used for the not so nice extraterrestrials, but through quantum healing, we are very much aware of multi-dimensional beings. So in his last lifetime, one of the last lifetime, he was a small-time thief. जो ऐसे रोड साइड बैठता था and literally in the session he was doing this action. So I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm spinning the keychain. I'm sitting on a bike, road के side में बैठा हूँ और मैं keychain घुमा रहा हूँ. I'm like, okay. Just say there's a dynamic. There's another example I would like to quickly give. Let's say there was an abusive husband of this lady who was always tied up to her bed. उसको सिर्फ बांध के रखा जाता था. And she was never allowed to do anything, go anywhere, and would just come and beat her. So, and then eventually he shot her.
So yo, hello, कैसा this is Dishang Dimble. Welcome back to the podcast. And आज का podcast is not gonna be it's not gonna be a story, but amalgamations of story, मतलब collections of stories, because we have a healer in the house. आज therapist के पास आ गए and we are gonna have a mixed therapy session. So that is gonna be fun, really. We have Namrata in the house. Hi Namrata, how are you?
Hi Dishank, I'm very well, thank you.
How was your travel, first of all?
Very comfortable. That was good. Thanks.
पण देख मराठी आ गया बाहर मैंने तो गाली देते मेरे को people like मराठी में बात मत कर हिंदी में कर. So we'll continue in Hindi. I like to know how did you started this and what exactly do you do, because people are confused what is hypnotherapy and what exactly is tarot and what exactly is QHHT. So
right.
you can just clarify everything and then we can move on to the stories.
I would love to do that. So I am a hypnotherapist and I am practicing quantum healing hypnosis technique, which is a technique developed by the pioneer Dolores Cannon, and she is a world-renowned hypnotherapist, late Dolores Cannon now, and the guru found me, the saying goes, the teacher finds you when the student is ready. So that's what happened with me. I think at the age of 7, I was aware that I wanted to get into hypnosis. And when I did, I found a book in my grandmother's trunk, How to Hypnotize. So everything zoomed out and I zoomed into the book. And at that moment, I knew this is for me. But then life happened. I grew up, I had my own dark night of the souls, I had my churning, my traumas, I had to come out of all of that. And then when I found myself back and healed, and just at the crossroads of, okay, what now? What now? What's ahead in life? That's when Dolores came in my life, and there's no looking back after that.
She came, how she got
How did she come? That's again a very interesting thing. So somewhere, I don't know how should I put this. I was very intrigued with the extraterrestrial phenomena. So,
aliens and
aliens, not aliens. Aliens is a term which is used for the not so nice extraterrestrials, but through quantum healing, we are very much aware of multi-dimensional beings. Okay, so we connect, we receive healings. So the God source, we are not the only species in the planet.
No, we are not.
So there are very benevolent beings who are here with us in other dimensional forms that you can't see with our own naked eyes. But energy-wise is what you feel them, you sense them. So, I somehow started pursuing ET. So I was going into series of watching and how contacts happen and stuff like that, and little to my knowledge that I didn't even know Dolores existed back then. So then suddenly she started showing up on my feeds, and then I started noticing her work. And then I get to know that she has been a UFO investigator for last
Oh, wow.
17 years of her life, and she used to give lectures and all about UFOs and educating people that they are very nice beings. We don't have to be scared of.
They are nice also. There are bad aliens also. Like
It's like, if you do certain things which you're not supposed to do, even on this planet, then you have to follow certain rules and things like that. So they want to check you. They are like a parent. We are their
children.
Star seeds, what they call
I was
us.
just saying that in my head.
So
let's keep this in Hindi because I feel people want to connect and people will be asking for Hindi.
Okay.
So let's shift to Hindi. Star seeds मतलब क्या होता है explain करना पड़ेगा आपको.
Star seeds का concept हिंदी में बोलना
Hindi, it's not शुद्ध Hindi, but you can just say like कैसे होता
है. So star seeds are beings or people like you and me who have an origin, somewhere from a different solar system, and then we are seeded here through time immemorial, and then you are reincarnated.
Again and again, yes.
And when the time is right is when you start remembering where you are originally from. So that is what happened with me. So I started understanding who am I, where was I from, what happened. I saw so many of my previous lifetimes through QHHT. And then QHHT, in my own QHHT, when I wanted to, clear the last bit of my healing before I became the practitioner. So that's where I understood that this is what is my life's purpose, which was one of my questions, because I had confusion as the biggest theme in my life. Like, ye karu ya wo karu, ye choose karu ya wo karu. So that was one of the questions. Why am I always...
There are so many methods.
Exactly. So मुझे यही था कि मैं confused क्यों हूँ हमेशा. तो मुझे life में करना क्या है? That's when what's my life's purpose was my perennial question, and I needed to receive a lot of clearing, healing, clarity in life. So the answers that I was given from this cosmic intelligence that we tap into through QHHT came as I have to be a trauma healer. And trauma healer, clearing anything and every kind of trauma. So that's when I realized, and I always had this belief that, I want to be the person that I needed when I was going through tough times. So with that value system, I think, every participant, every client that has received the QHHT healing has taught me so much about myself while me, helping them. So through that journey, it's always a give and take. Knowing unknowingly, you are helping each other. So
you're taking some part of karma from them also.
Clearing, I do not take. We clear whatever needs to be cleared. The subconscious does that. Subconscious is a term which Dolores has given to this cosmic intelligence for our cognitive understanding. Because many people think ये क्या है, वो छोटा brain जो पीछे होता है, the part that 90% that we do not access.
For me, subconscious is a state of frequency, you can say, which is accessible only when you tap into it.
Right. So I got this download once when I was driving to work. Like, how do we see an iceberg? The 10% is on top and rest 90% is below the water. Okay, so likewise, our head is that 10% and our entire body is that 90%. Because that's where most of aches, pains, traumas, including the 10% of the brain, and of which we still use a very tiny portion as humans. So, so we access various levels of the subconscious, and through QHHT, we work at the deepest level of trance, and we bring the participant to a somnambulistic state of trance. And we work with that level. So in that level is where we access this cosmic intelligence which keeps the galaxies afloat, which keeps you and me alive, which keeps everything working in the cosmos. So, that part of the cosmic energy is so intelligent. It knows everything. So for that intelligence to clear your traumas, for that intelligence to tell you what your purpose is, for that intelligence to heal your aches, pains, fears, addictions, phobias, is very easy. Because
It's basically nothing for it.
it is, why all these things happen in the first place
To
is
teach,
what we
basically, yeah.
understand, उसका इंटेंट क्या था, उसका पर्पस क्या था, हमने उससे क्या लेसन सीखे हैं.
It's a seek basically. It's to build you. It's to upgrade your soul in a way.
Absolutely, it's for your ascension.
Ascension.
If there's no dark, you will not know that there
Light,
is light
yeah.
also. So all these things are needed for us to wake up in life.
This, I had this download where one line was in my head ki we work in the dark to show you the light.
Absolutely.
So that is what a light healer can also do.
Yes.
The people like you and me
Yes.
who are there on earth to just tell people what is going on
And
around.
spread the light.
Exactly.
And to connect the network of light beings. So the light is then anchored on the planet, and that helps in ascension of the planet, creates a happy space. If I'm happy, I'll ensure people around me are happy. They in turn will ensure that creates a blanket of happy beings, and that helps the planet, that helps the light, and that helps the earth to move into the 5D consciousness that the planet is moving now. That's where in the last decade people are becoming aware of clean the water, plant more trees, recycle plastic.
And in last 5 years, they're more getting aware of the truth, the dharmic relations, and what should be
Yes.
done, what should not be done.
Absolutely.
They're getting conscious about the spiritual existence of life.
Absolutely. It's more of people are being able to discern, which is what everybody was lacking until a long time. And especially people who are not consciously mindful, who are just part of the rut every
Rat
day.
race.
The rat race, जो उठे by the clock, ये करना है, ये करना है, ये करना है. No time to even think for themselves.
Why are we existing?
Yes. Where are we in that entire fabric of the cosmos, and are we even important?
Exactly.
जब तक वो नहीं जागते हैं, तब तक that light can't even enter them. Although they have that spark, but light is trying to, knock them.
And they ignore it.
Ignore के उन्हें पता भी नहीं होती ये knock है. They are that asleep. So the intensity of the subconscious nudges starts increasing. Initially it may happen like you just get jolted out of a dream. Then maybe you're walking and you happen to, touch or hit your shoulder or bump into your knee into something, or you just trip and fall down, and you're still not understanding. आपको लगता है मैं ऐसे ही हूँ, मैं सब गिराती रहती हूँ. I'm very sloppy. I just drop everything, 4 steps and I drop. No.
मराठी में धड़पड़ी.
धड़पड़ी. People who say that I keep doing that always, or मेरे accidents ही होते रहते हैं. No matter what I do, मेरा accident होता ही होता है. That's not something what is just happening to you.
It's not a coincidence.
Not at all. It is happening to you because the subconscious wants you to, hello, wake up. We want to communicate with you. Hello, we want you to, listen to what that gut is telling you, what the intuition is talking to you. When they don't, then the intensity increases so much that it starts taking a form of major medical labels.
Okay, this is new for me.
Okay. So every emotion, every symptom, or every feeling that you start feeling starts with right as basic as thinking or overthinking, then starts spiraling into another emotion. And wahan se, what happens is at night all these emotions start settling down. It has to, because it's energy, needs to transform, has to go somewhere. So what this energy, this frequency or this vibration does is it goes and settles into that particular organ which is related to that particular emotion or trauma or that event which is happening. So through the practice of QHHT, we've understood time and again कि अगर liver का कोई problem है, fatty liver है, sclerosis है, या aches है, pains है, yeah, anything for the liver, it's always anger issues. most of the time it's
Oh
anger
wait,
issues.
oh wait, oh wow, oh wow, wait. I'm connecting now. Oh
Right.
no.
Tell me more. Tell me more. I will
Because I have seen people who have liver issues. They're hiding from trauma. They're drinking alcohol for the same reason. Their anger comes on alcohol abuse. Oh wait, what the heck? I'm just asking myself questions. I'm like, oh my god.
Yes, it starts turning our brain like a pretzel
Yeah.
and expands the mind muscle when you get that association. So right from the hair, okay. Now, with regards to hair to your toenail, inside out, every part of the body holds a certain emotion. Now, the subconscious gives us this knowledge, or lets us know what each part of the body means, or what emotion it's holding. So, with regards to hair, the shinier your hair is, the darker your hair is, it denotes more psychic abilities you have, more on the spiritual path you are. The less hair you have, or no hair, is a sign of no emotions. So you are an emotional person, and the longer your hair, the more emotional, and it holds more spiritual power. And no hair is like very practical people, very ruthless, or have had such traumas that they say अब मैं इमोशन नहीं दिखाऊंगा क्योंकि इमोशनल था, इस वजह से I got beaten up, yeah, I was hurt, so I'm gonna cut all my emotions. People even go shave themselves bald, or the hair starts receding, the hairline starts receding, because they're emotionally unconnecting from their own spark.
I did cut my hair last week because
Having a haircut is fine.
no, I'll tell you why. So recently I'm going through a phase of spiritualism, or like it's on peak, because you can say the earth is ascending into some other dimension, and people know where it is going. So what was happening is I was receiving so much trauma, because being a psychic, I can understand pain without anyone speaking, so I can feel it.
Absolutely.
So I was not able to reciprocate.
Process it.
And I was like, someone is screaming, someone is, so kuch to ho raha hai bro. So I just went and I was like, nahi bro, baal kaatna padega, because I was deciding to grow my hair. And then I was like, baal kaatne, nakhun kaatne, and I'm like, I'm feeling fine now.
Yes, because
Now
yeah, you need to have that shielding, that energetic shielding. That's very important, because आप spiritual path पर जब जाते हैं and you're busy spreading light, so darkness tries and come in that double speed at you. So you have to be aligned emotionally, mentally, physically, in your own being, and anchored to the earth or to your core values. But now you start becoming a sponge, and you start absorbing negative psychic, because energy is always transferring from high to low, low to high. So you always need to ensure that you are taking care of yourself first.
That's true. And I think so. You do Akashic recordings?
No.
No?
It's all the subconscious. Everything that we need is in QHHT.
Achha.
So there's no need to do anything. Like QHHT is a therapy of the future. It's non-invasive energy work. Okay. So what we have done through the subconscious, like I call myself just a medium, a facilitator, a guide who's facilitating the session. But the subconscious works through me and works through the client who's in front. So we have had thyroid glands that have been torn. We've had the energy to stitch it in the session. Then we've got the subconscious has rebuilt cartilages in the knees. So there's a before surgery, and there's no need for surgery because cartilages are built in the session. Then there is, you heard your bones cracking, your spine aligning. The bones are aligned. I worked with people with skull fracture.
This happens in front of you?
Yep. And only one session is needed.
That's amazing. This is the first time I'm listening to this.
Yes.
Have you recorded something like that?
We do audio recording. We don't do video recording.
You should do videos.
I recently I was compelled to do a video recording because the way the person on the table was convulsing, like vibrating, and he was literally the kind of energy work that he was receiving because he was into alcohol addiction. So his coping mechanism, reach out, because मुझे नींद नहीं आती है तो मुझे लगता है मैं एक पेग मार के सो जाऊं, was his thinking. I'm like, you should have meditated, you should have had a balanced diet, go worked out.
Exactly.
This is not the way to go about. Then after his counseling, after the induction interview, when we started his hypnotherapy, subconscious came in instantly, and the minute he was in trance, he started vibrating. So we ensure the safety of every person. The subconscious wants everybody to be safe, and it's a very, very safe process. So it's as natural and normal as you and me falling asleep, So the kind of energy work happened for that person. Now his alcohol addiction is gone.
That is obvious, very obvious.
And he was advised that, alcohol is not made for you. So whatever was the root cause for him to get into alcohol was cleared. So when the root cause is cleared, every symptom, every, the coping mechanism or the limiting belief that the brain is having towards that action is cleared in the process.
That's great, because my question is, till what limit can a brain go in this? Is there any limitations to this?
There are no limitations. However,
can I become Superman?
Oh yes, we all can be Superman, Superwoman, Wonder Woman, but so what happens is, if you are a meditator, if you are already somebody into spiritual practices, so you are used to a certain level of, theta state of mind or alpha state of mind where you're meditating. So when we are just blinking our eye or we are lightly closing our eyes is when our brain enters alpha state of frequency. When our eyes are open, it's beta state of frequency. And then when we fall into deep sleep, it's delta. So just before delta is a state called theta. So in how do we access theta is that natural state जब आप आप सुबह उठ रहे होते हैं या जिस सोने जा रहे होते हैं रात को, उस टाइम जैसे आंखें बंद कर रहे होते हैं आपको पिक्चर्स दिखाई देने लगते हैं या आपको आवाजें सुनती है हल्की हल्की, एंड वो 10 सेकेंड to 30 सेकेंड का एक विंडो होता है बिफोर योर आईज शट एंड यूर इन डीप स्लीप. So we take that 10 or 30 second window and then we extend that to 2 hours. And we keep you in trance for 2 hours. Usse zyada we don't, unless you're a meditator and unless the subconscious tells us that it's okay, the brain can handle it. And if the healing needs to be extended, then the subconscious tells us that okay, he needs to take a break, and then after the break we continue again. So the subconscious guides us. We are just facilitating the session. So the cosmic intelligence, strange, amazing things happen in the session, like in the healing, literally it's like magic. So you get, because I am practicing this in India, so for Indian people, जो भी हमारे गॉड्स रहे हैं, मास्टर्स रहे हैं, असेंडेड मास्टर्स, टीचर्स, गाइड्स, गुरुज, सो आप जिसको प्रेयर करते हैं, मोस्टली दोज एनर्जीज show up in the session. So Mahavatar Babaji has shown up, Mahadev has shown up, then Hanumanji, Sai Baba, Meher Baba, Dolores Cannon herself shows up. So
but it is their other energy, it is their subconscious which is connecting. So
like the cosmic intelligence, it's the vibration,
it just represents as that name
which we identify.
Because our brain is used to seeing that name as the greatest source of energy.
Correct. Because we want to label some energy. We can't talk into thin air. So for us to have a cognitive, tangential understanding, uske liye the subconscious shows itself in the way you are most comfortable to see. So if I am a Sai Bhakt, so I will get subconscious as Sai Baba because I believe in Sai Baba. This is an example.
Yeah.
So likewise, if there's somebody who's a believer of Babaji, who's a believer of any guru, Sadguru, or anybody for that matter, so they show up because we want that form. हमें लगता है कि some जैसे if there are college students, so this therapy can be done for anybody up 17 years and above. So the younger lot, when they come, they are always like, I can see a fairy, I can see, because they are still little. So unke liye that is the energy the subconscious wants to show as. So because the subconscious wants you to be most comfortable, subconscious wants you to have that trust, and this therapy does not work if there's no trust. So the intention as a practitioner is to build that rapport and trust when you come in. And with that, I start going with each of your emotion. I travel with you and I go to the cause. Sometimes they don't even have to tell me the cause. When they tell me the symptom, I just know where the cause is. So then I make a note of it. And then we work through it. And the subconscious just works phenomenally. Because not only aches, pain, symptoms, जो fear होता है, बहुत लोगों को fear की वजह से they become paralyzed. They freeze.
They limit their cognitive abilities due to fear.
And fear is a emotion which is at the lowest frequency.
Exactly.
Okay, in the spectrum of frequencies of energies. So love, authenticity, money, all these are vibrations of a very high frequency. When you're operating in fear, you're at the bottom most. So when you're in fear mindset or fear energy, you start attracting the low frequency energies. And when you start attracting, and because you're in fear, so naturally आपका कोई ना कोई chakra is imbalanced, कहीं ना कहीं block है because of emotional trauma, heartache, something, so because you were neglected as a child or inner child wounding है, so उस वजह से जो fear होता है, there's an attachment, like your soul innately is always shielded, but these low frequency entities can come and start latching onto your system.
Parasites, basically.
Parasites, and they host you. So, they can do that, and then they start influencing your behavior.
Okay.
They start influencing you to start drinking more, to start smoking more, because they feed off those energies.
So basically, these entities can make you stay in the low cortisol level state.
Always high cortisol, high stress levels.
And they can make you addicted to that.
Addicted to it. So addictions, ये जो low frequency energies होते हैं, ये कहाँ मिलते हैं आपको? Mostly at, I don't want to put any industry down, but it's like, at places of dark, dingy bars, corners of streets.
I smash people directly. Like clubs are there because where there is
dark, low frequency energy and too much consumption of,
where there is lust, sex, there is alcohol, there is smoking, there is something which harms your body and spiritual mindset. Chemicals basically.
Yes.
Are
low frequency vibes, energies. So those, those energies find their clients in these places and they just latch onto you through the auric holes that are created in your aura because of any emotional trauma. And once they are latched onto you, suddenly you will have this innate anger. आपको पता नहीं आप क्यों चिढ़ते हैं. The most prominent way of identifying that you are under, influence of this low frequency energy is like, पता नहीं मुझे क्या हो जाता है, मुझे वो नहीं बोलना था लेकिन मैंने बोला, मुझे नहीं करना था लेकिन मैंने किया,
मैं गुस्से में आके कुछ भी बोल देता हूँ. It is that.
और जैसे ही वो चीज़ हो जाती है मुझे रियलाइज होता है कि मुझे ये नहीं करना था बट मैं कर रहा हूँ. So you have to understand, okay, you need to start fixing your aura, you need to start cleansing. You need to start having a balance and you need to start raising your vibrations. The minute you start raising your frequency, the frequency becomes a mismatch. They naturally can't sustain.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start giving into it, then उनका hold, उनकी पकड़
Yeah, Mike.
strong हो जाती है. Sorry.
It's fine.
तो उनकी पकड़ आपके ऊपर strong हो जाती है.
Okay.
And they start that energy starts influencing you in directions which you don't want to be in.
Okay.
So once we identify all this in the sessions, in the interview, then we work around all this, and complete clearing of this is done. Your complete aura is scanned by the subconscious. Auric field energy holds, just say ozone of the earth. Whenever there is a hole in the ozone, how it starts damaging that portion of the geography. Similarly, our ozone is our auric field.
This is a nice example because people say ki like spirituality is fake and everything. We can see an ozone layer itself. So there are layers on earth.
Absolutely.
So there are belts on earth. So if there are belts on earth, then there are belts around us which we can't see.
Exactly, because earth is a being. She is very much like you and me. We are like that parasites जो एक dog के ऊपर होता है ना, fleece. We are like that on earth, and she wants to shake us off. Ki bhai, stop damaging me, stop biting me, and stop creating ruckus on my surface inside out.
We are like white blood cells for her.
White blood cells, अरे वो doggy के ऊपर होते हैं ना, वो पिस्सू.
But like
humans are like
people
that.
like us are white blood cells, and these people are like
the light beings and everybody else. Like whoever is consciously aware of not damaging the earth is
it's
of course
a good cell.
Earth always helps us. Like Earth always is so happy with you. The Earth angels जिसे बोलते हैं, जो guardian angels Earth के, they just bless you with so much abundance.
And this podcast might be just a planned podcast for everyone already.
There's never a coincidence.
Yeah,
so
there is never a coincidence. I was
coincidence.
talking to someone in morning, and she was like, "Oh, what a coincidence!" Because she was sending me some pictures, and she was reading this Bhagavad Gita, right?
Okay.
So she sent me a picture of Krishna blowing this conch shell.
Okay.
And I have this huge Mahavishnu's picture, so I sent her back this picture. She's like, "What a coincidence!" I'm like, there is no coincidence. Never coincidence happens.
He had to reach her through anyhow. You were the medium.
Exactly.
For that.
So that is I personally started connecting with these things when I got introduced to Dr. Joe Dispenza. So he was talking about frequencies, healing, and everything.
Yes.
And then he started explaining everything properly. But by that time, I was also a Swami Bhakt. So he was also saying the same thing, but in a traditional way.
Traditional. जो इस geography को समझ जाएगा.
So then I was like, okay, these things really work. Just the teachers were different in every part and every dimension and every way.
Yes.
So that is amazing. But you have any great stories that you want to share with me?
Stories, yes. Like the rule of the practice is confidentiality. So I will not be taking names. However, I will just
Kissey never takes names.
Correct. So I will just narrate a few
Incidences
or phenomenal healing that people have received, and understanding that has changed their trajectory, changed their life, brought more clarity. So there was one story where this lady had come to me and was in complete confusion, has an abusive husband, and she was very well educated, but alcohol addiction of the husband started creating a lot of problems in their family. And when the subconscious, when we worked with her, the subconscious gave a connection that they were both married even in another lifetime, where they did not have children. So because the husband wanted children, out of that sadness, he started drinking, and that drinking addiction, that leak continued even in this lifetime. But in this lifetime, they have beautiful children. So, when we did her clearing, the subconscious, we also did surrogate healing clearing for him. through
What's
her.
a surrogate healing?
That is generally used for children below 17 years,
Okay.
or somebody who's not present in the room but is connected
To them indirectly. Okay.
directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
Mostly it is one of the question that they come with, that is on their list. Like, parents of children with ADHD come, autism come. तो जब 17 years and below का हम नहीं करते unless the subconscious is advised otherwise. So then we use the parent to do the surrogate healing for the child. So in this story, complete clearing of this lady, and her trajectory changed, and she's a very like she's very happy. She got all the answers to her question. That's how we started with her journey. Then her family members came in for their healing, for their clearing. Then there are cancer patients who have come, जिनके clearing हुए हैं in the session. So for cancer, again, anger is a big theme, not only from this lifetime or any other lifetime. So anger, and depending on which part or which organ that anger is, उससे हमें पता चलता है कि आपकी लाइफ में क्या चल रहा है. So if somebody's got lung cancer, then we understand that there's always a feeling of innate suffocation in the family. You were not allowed to speak your truth. You were not allowed to express your feelings. So you're holding on to that so tightly that it starts suffocating your own lungs.
I immediately got Sanjay Dutt in my head. I was like, okay, wait.
Okay.
Wait.
And throat cancer is for मतलब उनको होता है जिन्हें कम्युनिकेशन करने में दिक्कत होती है, या अपने थॉट्स को आर्टिकुलेट करके जो नहीं बोल पाते हैं. एज सिंपल एज मुझे भूख लगी है भी वो नहीं बोल सकते. दे फील वेरी ऑकवर्ड, दे फील वेरी शाय, और दे फील लाइक हम नहीं बात कर पा रहे. सो इफ योर थ्रोट चक्रा इज नॉट वर्किंग राइट, you will have issues in communication, and when you have that, it starts settling here. Everything starts settling in this part of the body, and that eventually, if you don't listen and don't work and start clearing it, तो throat cancer हो सकता है, liver cancer, मतलब any cancer. So whatever part of the body is getting affected, with that we understand what is going on in their life. So even as simple as सर्दी जुकाम, हमें लगता है अरे नहीं कुछ नहीं, ठंडा गर्म हो गया, AC चल रहा था, या वायरल हो गया. That is also a sign, a symptom of something emotionally happening in your life.
Because I was a huge allergic person, and after switching to continuous meditation from last 1 year itself, things have reduced to minimal, you can say.
Absolutely.
Because I do is practice my alignment a lot.
Yes.
Every morning. The first thing I do is align myself and then go out.
Perfect.
Then I started seeing, because I never used to be able to breathe also outside properly because of Mumbai pollution right now. And right now I can say it's gone, 80%, 90% it's gone. It's absolutely gone. And if I think if हो रहा भी है and मैं बोलेगा कि I'll tell my body I don't want this, it is gone in a day.
Absolutely.
It's just gone in a day.
Absolutely. That is exactly the crux of even QHHT. What you think about, you will bring about. So it's the power of the mind. It's like mind technology, which was, very prevalent in the primitive civilizations of Atlantis and Lemuria, if I may quote. So there, the civilizations used to use mind technology, and how pyramids were built through mind technology. And the legends of flying carpet, it is not just a legend, it was a
flying carpet itself.
Yes, so people used to use flying carpet to carry their stuff or carry themselves through the technology of mind power.
Now,
and we have discovered all that.
You are giving me hitch and I'm like, okay, these things are happening. Because Siddhis itself.
Those are Siddhis.
there's siddhis which we call in India. It's basically the body function which are locked right now.
Yes.
Because we can't see them due to technology itself also.
Yes. And because there's always a veil of, things that are overpowering or overshadowing those abilities. And also it's not the time yet for us as a race on this planet, in this time, in this place, to know these things. And now slowly, our star parents, so called, if I may say, want us to now start waking up and understanding our abilities. And siddhis get unlocked when you're true to your core, true to your values, and when you stay in alignment with those values and principles, no matter what temptations come in front of you. And when you pass that little test that subconscious puts in front of you, is when you're gifted with a siddhi, you're gifted with a knowledge. That's how you and me, people like us, are waking up, because we stayed put. We even through hard times, we did not go and give in to temptations or go and give in to addictions, or
For me, one temptational slap was enough to wake me up. I was like, okay, that's it, sorry dad.
Absolutely.
I just woke
You were
up.
a fast learner.
Yes, exactly. I learned, and from my birth itself, there are things which happened with me, and like I was realizing this is not the way. I was very early on latching
Much
everything.
aware.
Yeah, you can say indigo child.
Absolutely.
So learning it very fast was my thing, and then I understood ki bro, this is not
beautiful.
high.
So you understand what is an indigo child.
Yeah. I am an indigo child, so I know.
Amazing. That is very good. So you have your own talents, abilities, and gifts that you are born with.
Because my handwriting was wrong. I know ki everyone was like, you are dumb. Like, I'm not dumb. I know how smart I am.
Technologically advanced.
Advanced.
You are not yet there.
So people are like, you are a doctor. No, I am a healer.
Yes, absolutely. Even for me, healing came very naturally. And I always knew, like, I want to heal. I know I have to heal. And QHHT became that medium, and through QHHT my healing abilities have also increased, and it just benefits the client. The goal is, when you see people come in with whatever issues, traumas, and as I always say, the person who walks in is not the same person who's going to walk out.
Yeah.
Because the subconscious has cleared all your traumas. You have received clarity to all your questions and answers. You have received. So now, with all that new knowledge, पुरानी personality तो अब हमने निकाल दी सारी. हमने आपको पूरा realign कर दिया. Basically आपका denting painting कर दिया, आपका software upgrade कर दिया, antivirus install कर दिया. और आप, what are you going to do with this new life? So then you have to then follow the suggestions that have come through for you in your session, and take it very seriously, because that is your path to your ascension, which has been put in front of you. Like आपका GPS अभी हमने set कर दिया है. अगर आप वो follow करते हैं, you will reach your destination. And while going towards that destination, you will have amazing gifts, amazing synchronicities, people, help, abundance, love pouring in from the universe, from all directions. But if you again take a detour, then the nudges of the universe increase even more. So one of a very good example was, I had a child who was brought in by his parents. He was a patient of cerebral palsy from 8 months. And he came to me when he was 16 years old. So in his session, when we did his session, he received his healing, he received his clearing. He came in walking with crutches, and he went walking on his own feet.
What? That's amazing. That's really amazing.
That brought tears to my eyes, to his parents' eyes, and
And how many sessions did it take?
One.
Nice. Wonderful.
So, it can work for anything and everything.
I got that meme, like this pastors, this pastors do hallelujah and they start yelling, "Bacha theek ho gaya."
ये वो 1920 वाला है क्या?
This recent.
Okay.
What has been happening is Punjab is facing a critical stage of conversion,
Right.
where Catholics are invading Punjabis to become Catholics.
Okay.
I'm not against any religion, guys,
Correct.
but this is what is happening in the world, and they show this miracles where it is very staged.
Those are stage managed.
So the kids are managed and everything is managed and everything.
For cameras.
So once there was this kid. This was a viral meme back then, last year itself.
Okay.
So there was this kid where he bought his sister, and he was very small. Both were very small. And what happened was कि this kid was like कि मेरी बहन को बोलने नहीं आता है, so he does something whoosh whoosh, and then he gives her mic. The बहन बोल पड़ी, hallelujah. And I'm like, fuck. I'm laughing. I'm like, how are you staging this? How is this possible? Because it is possible, but it is not possible like this. The way you're showing.
Oh yes, and I've seen these kind of
Yes,
things happening.
exactly.
It just occurred to me now.
So this is like very much staged off things, and when something happens behind the closed doors, it is much trustable because you are not going to tell anyone कि क्या हो रहा है.
It's not publicized. It's not you're not putting it out there कि आओ देखो कैसे हो रहा है क्या. And it's always like the practitioner and the participant are the only two people in the room.
Exactly.
Nobody else is allowed. So I create that safe space. I hold that space for that person to just be vulnerable. So I always tell the people who come in, it's like आपका अंदर जो कचरा भरा हुआ है अभी बचपन से अभी तक, कंडीशनिंग, ये मत करो, ऐसे मत करो, all of those things, यहाँ पर आके आपको वो कचरा खाली करना है उल्टा. And then once that tank, which is the emotional tank within us,
emotional baggage basically.
Yes, जो खाली हो जाता है through the induction process, what we do is we clean that and we put a lid on it. So that's the filter. You start setting boundaries. That's a major theme I have noticed. People are not able to set boundaries. As simple as unable to say no.
No. This is a major topic in Kissey because what happens is people come from different emotional issues.
Yes.
And I tell them, start saying no, start knowing self, start understanding what is necessary. These three things can change your life.
Absolutely. So we then educate them through the subconscious, through the entire process. कि अभी ये ढक्कन लगाया है हमने, which is a filter, and only the things which are right for you, in your highest good, will be allowed only by you. कोई भी आते जाते कचरा फेंक के नहीं जाएगा उसमें. And with that understanding, then we start the hypnosis, and the profound clearing that happens. It's like you feel truly rested and refreshed once you're out from hypnosis. Of course, the doorway to the subconscious remains open for the next 72 hours. So in that time, we advise them to have affirmations, listen to the recording, and as many times as they can, and feel called for. Do grounding, be in nature, spend time more in nature. She's a natural healer. So take salt baths to ward off any negative energies. When even if you're just as simple as walking through a mall or walking on a busy street, and if you're at a high vibe, and there are people of course with different energy, so so energy again transfers from high to low, low to high, because it wants to create a balance. So आप naturally जब बस आप मॉल जाके आए और आपको लगता है आप इतने थक क्यों गए हो,
drained.
Why are you so drained? Because you have not contained your energy in that bubble or shield. So it just transfers to wherever, whoever needs it. तो उनको सारी एनर्जी मिल गई, but आप ड्रेन हो जाते हैं.
That's true, because I have been like in this scenario when I was in early stages of this realization. I used to feel that people are observing me more. Common people will like, अच्छा दिख रहा है.
Yes.
No bro, it is not you अच्छा दिख रहा है. You are pulling out people's attention because
They
you are
are
vibrating
in that frequency. You stand out. You just stand. Your light is shining through your aura.
And that is because now I'll break it down very easily for people. So कैसे होते हैं मालूम है? When you're looking good, you feel nice. You feel nice, you're confident, you're vibrating high. You're vibrating high, you're gaining attention. This is how it is. It is all layered, and people don't understand what is happening exactly.
Absolutely.
Someone can walk on chaddi baniyan and look good.
Oh, yes.
And people do that.
Yes.
Because that is the point of it. And some people do walk on same thing and they are like, ये क्या sexually क्या कर रही है? ये गंदा है बहुत, ऐसा ये vulgar हो गया. So that is the difference. The vibration
that they are carrying inside.
That is main. I am just explaining you what is coming in my head right now.
What an example.
Simple.
Yeah, bilkul basic.
Best podcast, right?
Tell me about it.
Because that is how it is. People don't understand the simple crux of everything. They have to break it down to a basic level where they can eat. It's like dal chawal for them. We have to break it down and make them understand that this is necessary.
बिल्कुल. Because वो इतनी basic चीजें होती है, they are so unaware. Because वो societal conditioning वैसी रही है, उनके खानदान की conditioning वैसे रही है.
Let's talk on this. Because what happens is, the way a person in India, mostly India, because we are Indian oriented.
Yes.
So India has been bought in a way कि everyone's inner child is damaged in some way.
Oh my God, tremendously. That's the first thing we deal with. A simple example I'll give you. There are many of us, professionals, bolo, school students, bolo, college goers, married people who are maybe in their 40s. They feel I'm still a teenager. Mm-hmm. They feel I'm still in my 20s, or a teenager will feel I'm still 8-year-old, I'm still 10-year-old. Why is that? Because that was the exact age where you have received a massive trauma through your parents, through your society, through your friends, through your relationship, and your soul growth has just stunted in that point in time. Mm-hmm. And the soul refuses to grow because it has now stopped trusting you.
And it's comfortable there.
No, it stops trusting you.
Acha.
It's not because it's comfortable. It has now just stopped growing.
Acha.
Because that little child is so scared, it just wants to hold on to something or somebody to comfort it, to tell him you're safe, you're protected. Whatever trauma happened was from a child's perspective. It may be a trauma or it may actually be a trauma. So trust issues shuru ho jate hain. Everybody who's wounded as a child, emotionally, mentally, physically, starts having trust issues. So trust issue spirals so deep and in every sphere of their life that inner child wounding is something I work on very, very dominantly. Because the minute we heal that, half of your issues are automatically resolved. Because trust, wo jo inner child wounding hai, and what happens is your inner child instantly grows to your current body age. And mature, जो बोलते ना, अरे शरीर से बड़े हो गए, अकल से बड़े नहीं हुए हैं, अभी तक बच्चे ही है. ये जो बचपना दिखता है बाकी लोगों को is because वो अभी तक उसी एज में stuck है emotionally, जो उन्हें भी नहीं पता है. So when through hypnosis, through QHHT, when I take them back to that point in time, they actually see themselves in that scene where that trauma had happened and who caused it. And in that scene is where the subconscious works with them, and we clear that issue, and the inner child grows up to the current person. And then the immaturity, childishness, all that goes, but childlike playfulness stays with you.
This makes me remember what Elon Musk said, ki like, don't be childish, be childlike, because that's where you grow. And that's where now people can relate, and people can open up and search also, because there is a state of billionaires being very gentle to everyone is childlike behavior.
Yes.
Not
that's
childish.
A very playful
Aura.
energy you bring into. It's a very healing energy. It's a safe space. You're creating that play zone. You know, emotionally, mentally. So anybody wants to come and jump into play. There's no threat. अगर आपके सबकॉन्शियस माइंड को लगता है यहाँ थ्रेट है किसी भी तरह का जो इनर चाइल्ड वुंडिंग से रिलेटेड है, you will immediately withdraw.
And it can be a place, it can be a location easily because
smell, taste, sight, sound,
anything can trigger anything.
Emotion, any of your sense organ will trigger it because that's how the child has associated it with. So inner child wounding is what the subconscious works through with, in QHHT. Then and there is this chakra cleansing, healing, aligning, balancing, sealing your ozone, which your aura, because that becomes a source for negative frequencies, entities to just latch on. So that is taken care of. Physical ailments are taken care of. Fears.
But my question is a blind person comes into your door.
Yes.
Is there a possibility for them to heal also?
If it is not karmic. Now the only condition with QHHT is, like in any spiritual practice, you don't interfere with karma. Okay? अगर आपका कर्मा है कि आपको इतने सालों तक ये कष्ट भोगना है या इस डिस्कम्फर्ट के साथ रहना है, तो वो सबकॉन्शियस जब तक आप वो नहीं खत्म हो जाता टाइमलाइन, तब तक आपको वो सहना ही पड़ेगा.
This answers a lot of questions for me because recently only I was dealing with something big. If I get great powers to heal like Jesus Christ, I shouldn't interfere with someone who has karmic debts.
Never.
And I was like, and this was a constant battle. I was like asking myself why. Then the answer was not coming. So this answers me right now.
And what happens if we do tamper is you're taking on something which will hurt you, because you have taken on that karmic debt upon you, which you were not supposed to take. So now there was a practitioner of a different modality, शायद रेकी या कोई energy healing करते थे. So he had come to one of my group sessions which I conduct to create awareness about hypnosis. So there he had come and he was discussing that, whenever I was healing something for somebody, a pigeon used to die. I'm like, because you're doing that against the will of the nature, you're clearing their karmic debt. So the universe is not harming you, but that bird is taking on that debt. And that is why the bird used to drop dead in front of him. I'm like, please don't interfere with laws of the free will of the nature.
So how can one recognize it as a karmic responsibility or not? Because I used to think personally, it's a personal question at itself. So I used to think if a person is coming to you, he is karmically related to you in some way. So that is the only reason he's coming for help, asking help or something like that. And if he is asking for help and it is not meant for him, how can we recognize that?
Through QHHT, I can answer that. Through QHHT, it is very much possible for us to clearly ask the subconscious. And the subconscious, for example, I'll tell you what happened in one of the sessions, which was a karmic discomfort that person had. So this person was constantly failing in all his business endeavors. Okay, वो कुछ भी business शुरू करे, he was failing. So he was in financial crunch, but obviously then because of that his frustrations increased, because of which his marriage was in a downward spiral. Plus he was living in a joint family, which added to the agony of the couple's marital discord and his frustration financial-wise, because there was a big family he had to take care of.
Achha.
So then he came across QHHT. We had a session. In his session, along with various ailments that he was suffering or had, we understood why is he failing in his business constantly. So the subconscious gave us an answer which we didn't even expect would come through. So in his last lifetime, one of the last lifetime, he was a small time thief जो ऐसे रोड साइड बैठता था, and literally in the session he was doing this action. So I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm spinning the keychain. I'm sitting on a bike, रोड के साइड में बैठा हूँ और मैं keychain घुमा रहा हूँ. I'm like, okay. So that's how much deeper the embodiment happened so deep in the session that he was actually living that character in the hypnosis. And then we found out that in that lifetime he was a small time thief जो बहुत सारी चोरियां कर रहा था, randomly chain snatching, stealing wallets, the pickpocketers जो होते हैं, that category. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ विच बहुत सारे लोगों का ना मन दुखाया है उसने, क्योंकि आपकी कोई चीज़ आपसे छिन गई है तो यू नेचुरली फील हर्ट and you keep that hurt, and the more you remember about that hurt starts getting stronger and stronger and settles down somewhere in the body. And that energetically creates a cord between the person who has stolen or hurt you and you, and that you stays for generations, for lifetimes, for dimensions, until it is actually until you seek forgiveness or you are forgiven by the person you have wronged to, or we have actually energetically cut the cords. So in his case, the subconscious no, he has to continue to fail in his business because he has hurt so many in that lifetime, and all of them are very angry with him for doing whatever he did. So now we tried to negotiate. So I, as a facilitator, keeps negotiating with the cosmic intelligence because they love to be coaxed, they love to be reminded sometimes that you've always done so much good work, why don't you do this now that they have been brought here by you. So then what we did is we called upon the consciousness of all the people in whichever lifetime he has hurt in that session there, through the power of the subconscious. So he's like, there are so many in front of me. And I'm like, now start asking for their forgiveness and request them if they're willing to forgive you, because this much karma you have to live if you will not seek forgiveness. So then he immediately started asking for their forgiveness, and then he's like, oh, now they're starting to disappear. Pehle they were like, no, we are not going to forgive him. He's like, okay, whatever. Then we had to come and intervene through the subconscious that, whatever happened in the past. It doesn't need to belong in the present. So we should leave it in the past. And then he was profusely asking for forgiveness. He's like, I didn't know any better then. That was my job as a thief there. Now I'm a different person. I'm in a different body. So, and then they started saying, okay, fine, we'll forgive you. Karte. All of the consciousness of those people left. And then we asked the subconscious, now does he still hold karma? They're like, no, now his karma has been cleared. So now we can release that block and we can heal him and we can let him prosper in his life, in his businesses. So then we also have to check, okay, ये जो सारा clearing हो रहा है, ये होता है space time concept इसमें आ जाता है. So this is happening on a very high dimensional energy plane. Okay, so then we have to check earth time पे कब तक difference पता चलेगा. Okay, क्योंकि there the clearing has happened instantaneously, but for that earth time space dimension to come in place and for that integration to happen in our body, in our soul, in the here and now, okay, they said within a year he has to start doing whatever he needs to now, whichever line was advised to him then, and within a year he will see he's growing exponentially. So that's how we work around karma, कि क्या cause है and how we can request and see क्या problem था, and अगर वो होता है तो it's done. Now in another case there was a person with a transgender community बोल सकते हैं, or so did not identify as the gender he or she was born in,
assigned.
So then that was again karmic. And in this lifetime, he or she was born as a certain gender and did not identify as
whatever they were
what they were born with, male or female. and because they were being dressed as whatever, for example, agar aap male born ho but you are feeling like a female in your body, so you will feel uncomfortable dressing like a boy because you identify yourself as a female, or vice versa.
Opens a lot of things for me. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
How so? Tell me about it.
Because I was in my college days and there was a specific group of LGBTQIA+++.
Correct.
So these people used to act in a way which I never understood in back days.
Yes.
Now when you say that this is there, now I look with the karmic perspective.
Yes.
And it makes me think, oh my god, this is a karmic thing which is happening to them, and it is not what we should be deeming or looking down upon.
Absolutely.
Oh god, guys, वो सब तुम लोग कमेंट्स मारते हो ना, बंद कर दो वरना तुम लोग
Absolutely. It creates a god for
God,
them.
yeah.
And they're creating a karma for themselves. So what happened is, so we checked what was the problem. Why did he or she was born like that? And why isn't he or she identifying that way? And what is the way around this? And what happened was, this person chose to get his surgery done after a certain point in time. Okay. So this person was born as a girl, did not identify herself as a girl. She felt, मुझे स्कर्ट क्यों पहना रहे हैं, मैं तो लड़का हूँ. You know, मुझे स्कूल में फ्रॉक क्यों पहना रहे हैं, मैं तो लड़का हूँ. मुझे लंबे बाल क्यों कर रहे हैं, I'm a boy. But the parents refused to understand this. So, you know, there used to be constant conflicts, hate, arguments, abuse. That is so much that child has to go through because of limitations of the mindsets of people and refusal to believe that that could be his truth or her truth, you know. And then when he or she grew up, got a gender change surgery done. First attempt में नहीं हुआ. Then after a couple of months or years, tried again, and उस time पे the surgery was made possible and हो गई. So then we checked with the subconscious, why didn't it happen the first time he tried to do this? Like the karmic debt was not cleared. That is why we did not let him or her get the surgery done, because karma abhi tak pending tha. And second attempt में they aligned everything कि फटक से सब हो गया, फाइनेंस अरेंज हो गए, you know, डॉक्टर्स मिल गए, सब कुछ हो गया for that person. So like, so what was the karma, you know, in that previous lifetime? So it was that in a previous lifetime, this person was a male figure, a straight male figure who abused women in that lifetime. You know, say अपने घर के बच्चे हो या बाहर के हो, तो बेसिकली
sexually abused or just
in any way, मतलब like slave like treat करना या verbally abuse करना, in whatever way the abuse happened, जो female gender की respect नहीं करना was his wrongdoing in that lifetime, being a male, a patriarchal, or you know, I am the man type वाला जो nature था. And when he was reborn in this lifetime, so he was born as a girl, so that he understands how it feels to be a girl and be abused back. That abuse was being received by the parents is why.
So those who got abused were the abusers right now.
Could be, but it doesn't have to be कि आपने किसी को abuse किया है पिछले life में तो वो आपको इस life में abuse ही करेंगे. That's not how karma works. The karma for this person was to understand that you have to respect women. You cannot abuse anybody, be it a woman, be it a man. You have to, you know. So then, when he outlived and experienced all that karma, he got the chance to get a surgery done. क्योंकि karma भी clear हो गया था. इसलिए फिर he could just identify as that male or female that he or she was. So, you know, that's how karma works.
That's really, really interesting to know, because this is very, very new for me to understand ki how can a person, and this opens a reminder, like reminder or memory. So there was this time when the Raja Krishna's time basically. So when the dad of Kauravas asked ki, why am I blind, Krishna checked. Krishna sat for meditation and Krishna was like, let me check, why are you blind? He went into one birth. I'll explain in Hindi. So क्या हो गया था जब धृतराष्ट्र ने पूछा था कृष्णा से कि मैं अंधा क्यों हूँ, मैं जन्म से अंधा क्यों हूँ, मेरे पास शक्ति है, ताकत है, दौलत है, सब, मैं अंधा क्यों हूँ. तो कृष्णा बैठ के मेडिटेशन में लगे और कृष्णा सेम कॉन्शियसनेस में जाके चेक कर रहे थे कि क्या हो गया था. जैसे वो पीछे जाके चेक कर रहे थे, हर एक जन्म में जा रहे थे, तो ही वॉज डूइंग वेरी गुड. एक जन्म में गए, कोई कुछ नहीं मिला. 2 जन्म में गए, कुछ नहीं मिला. 3, कुछ नहीं मिला. 4, 5, 6, 7, he went till 50, nothing was there.
Correct.
And Krishna was getting worried now कि
अब और कितना पीछे और
क्या, कितना पीछे जाने का है. And then he just went, and then it was like 100 or 101st life.
Yes.
Where he went and he saw, he was a kid and he used to poke sticks in birds' eyes.
Yes, very much.
That was
karma was the leak.
हाँ, so वो ऐसा इधर point out हो रहा था.
Absolutely.
Then Dhritarashtra was like कि why was it taking so much time? तो कृष्णा told, आपके 100 जन्म के पुण्य थे इसलिए आप बच गए, और वो अभी खत्म हो रहे थे इसलिए आपको ये कर्मा भी मिला है.
Yes.
And then he was super silent and shocked कि like life works this way.
Absolutely.
And that is the beautiful story which I had, which was connected right now.
This is so perfect timing for that to come in your mind.
And it came automatically. I heard it somewhere out of blue.
And that's precisely how QHHT works. So here Krishna is the subconscious, the higher power that we are accessing. And that subconscious goes into wherever it needs to go to find the cause of your current problem. And from there, that explanation is given. Once you understand what had happened, why it had happened, and what needs to be done, then that is released or it is cleared and the timeline is closed. फिर वो लीक इस लाइफ में होना बंद हो जाता है.
Till the point when you are ultimately cleared with your life or you're near your moksha, it will keep on happening again and again and again. So that is great. You have last amazing story to tell, anything which is related, because what is happening right now, I saw the reel right now, a healer will break through your doubts. So that is what is happening right now.
Wow.
See, we saw just now, right?
Correct.
So that is what is happening. And I like to know one more story from you, whatever it is. So it might solve my...
One more story that I would like, that just came to my mind, is about disabilities. So people who are born with physical disabilities, are often neglected or are often put into homes or often given extra attention. They demand extra attention because they are not able to do whatever you and me can regularly do. So why are they born that ways? Why do they come with that disability? Could be for mental, emotional or physical. So why is that? Is because they want to fast track their karma cleansing. So because they want to fast track their karma cleansing, they are like, acha, add to cart, ye bhi add karo, ye bhi add karo, ye bhi add karo. This is done at the time when you're preparing your soul contract. This happens, the soul contract happens after you die in a particular life, and then you go through the tunnel of light and you're in that space where you are reviewing your entire life. Ki is janam mein, as this person, what did I do? So your entire life is shown to you कि okay, आपकी ये family थी, आपके ये बच्चे थे, आपने ये किया, आपने इतने लोगों का दिल दुखाया. This is how you made them feel. This is how they felt because you did this. From that perspective, you get to see that entire lifetime and you get to understand the lessons, the purpose, and any hurts that you have caused to any people. So then you yourself decide, last time, say as a father, I have not given enough time to my son or daughter, and they were feeling so hurt, which I did not understand because I was busy working. Okay, so this time let me change that dynamic and let us come and reborn as a husband and wife. So the father becomes the husband, the child becomes the wife, and let's try and clear that hurt, that not able to give attention to the child. So then embody as husband and wife in this lifetime. But when you're born, life happens and you forget why you are born, because that's the rule of this plane. So, and then again, you're put in similar situations where the husband is busy working and the husband can't give time to the wife, and the wife is constantly nagging him, you don't give me time, you don't give me time. And the same emotions are happening: guilt, frustration, lack, loneliness, sadness. तो वो डायनेमिक वैसा ही रहा जो पिछले लाइफ में था. आपने सोल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के वक्त तो समझ लिया था कि यहाँ आके मैं वो रिजॉल्व करूंगा, बट वापस आके आपने फिर वही किया.
I need to talk to consciousness. Why are you making people forget when they're coming down here?
Because that's the test. When
थोड़ा तो याद दिलाओ यार, थोड़ा.
उसके लिए आपको मेडिटेशन करना है, उसके लिए आपको स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिसेस करने हैं, उसके लिए आपको QHHT करना है. So through
That's
those things you will understand why. All the whys will be understood.
And being a Kaliyug, that is happening right now. We are forgetting what we are and who we are.
So that again is, ये कलयुग चल रहा है कि द्वापर युग आने वाला है कि कौन सा युग चल रहा है?
This is Kaliyug. I can tell you guys, this is Kaliyug. 7 years में सतयुग आएगा.
Direct सतयुग?
हाँ bro. This is the connection.
Correct.
This 7 years will be a bridge year, which will happen. I don't know where I got this from, but this 7 years is gonna be. There is gonna be a World War III, which is gonna happen when this podcast comes out.
Oh God, I hope not. I hope not. I hope so not. Well, 2032 is what we as a practitioner have been given. The first wave to 5D ascension of the earth will happen. So 2032, you and me have a chance to ascend into a higher consciousness. A lot of people like us.
There is a person who is going to be on earth, who is going to take everyone to that ascension. Already here, might be here. Maybe here.
No. It is we, our own selves. We are the person, our own person. Who's going to take?
For example, I'll tell you who, Krishna was there, Jesus was there, or someone like that, a major
Christ consciousness जिसे बोलते, Krishna
consciousness जिसको बोलते, the major entity which is gonna be here, just gonna tell everyone, wake up, hila
yes, जो चल रहा है काम. Okay, so coming back to the story of why disabilities. So soul contract के time पे you're like, अच्छा, मैंने इसका इतने लोगों का दिल दुखाया तो मैं वो सारा कर्मा with a certain disability clear करना चाहूँगा या चाहूँगी. So they add on that to their card. फिर मैंने ये भी किया तो मैं एक और कि I will be born in not so comfortable household. फिर they'll add that to the card. फिर they'll add more difficulties, they'll add abuse, they'll add a lot of traumas in their card.
So they just want to clear everything in one birth.
One birth. तो उनको बोला जाता है भाई एक एक करके करो.
आराम से भाई.
There is infinite time. You can keep doing me. They're like, no, we want to get out of the karmic cycle of reborn and birth and death से हमें बाहर आना है. So from that perspective, आपको लगता है सब easy है because you're in that vast consciousness. But as soon as you come back to the denser space, you're like, oh shit, ये मैंने क्या कर लिया? बिल ज़्यादा फट गया. And then you are in that embodiment of disability. तो जो आपने add to cart किया है कि आपके पेरेंट्स आपको टेक केयर करेंगे या नहीं, आपको किसी ऑर्फनेज में डाल दिया जाएगा, या ऑल द बेबीज दैट यू फाइंड इन द गार्बेज दैट पीपल छोड़ देते हैं, या all
makes
that
sense a lot right now.
So all these things are karmic and they want to clear their karma, is why they come. But as a society there are light beings who want to help them, which is nice, to keep them safe and protected should be the agenda of everybody who comes across them. So disability is a fast track way to clear karma. But just say there's another example I would like to quickly give. Let's say there was an abusive husband of this lady who was always tied up to her bed. उसको सिर्फ बांध के रखा जाता था. And she was never allowed to do anything, go anywhere, and would just come and beat her. So, and then eventually he shot her to death. Gunpoint. Out of frustration, whatever. He was a psychopath. Okay, this did not happen in India. So, and then they chose to reborn again. And when they took their rebirth, in this lifetime, the roles were reversed. So now that lady chose to become the husband, and the husband who was the abuser chose to be born as her son, and that too a disabled son. So now you will ask, how is karma getting cleared? He wanted to clear this karma. Now she, as a parent of the disabled child, was giving him unconditional love, was giving him all the care, all the attention. Na ki तूने मुझे मारा इसलिए मैं भी तुझे मारूंगी. That's not how karma works. So your unconditional love was the way his karma was getting cleared. And she was also healing herself.
Okay, that's very beautiful. I like to ask one more question which came in my mind. Okay, so as QHT works with the karma in this reality, there are other dimensions itself.
Absolutely.
So when we quantum jump or quantum leap,
yes,
do we change reality with the help of quantum healing?
Yes. What happens is the subconscious can take you into parallel realities, can take you into dimensions beyond your realm, can take you from the core of the earth, the core of the galaxy, to anywhere. You know, it's literally like Star Wars. Or we also jump to libraries, we jump to tapestries, we jump to underwater healing, so many dimensions. So what happens is all your aspects of your one soul, जो over soul बोलते हैं, जो our higher self. To give a tangential example, think of your higher self as sitting on the 30th floor or of the highest building in the city, and from that perch they can see bird's eye view of ये रास्ता यहाँ से यहाँ आएगा, इस building तक ये रास्ता ठीक है, यहाँ traffic है, all of that. So all your aspects, it's like the facet of a diamond, you know, your oversoul is that diamond. Lives that you're living,
dimensions basically,
your lives that you're living as different people in that different dimension or parallel realities. Now what happens in this dimension, you as Dishank have decided to start healing yourself, start healing your traumas. So what happens, सारे dimensions से जिसका भी जितना भी trauma है वो आपकी तरफ funnel होने लगता है. So that's why you start feeling emotions of uneasy, heaviness. मतलब ये कहाँ से आ रहा है? Like you just mentioned, ना, you were feeling all of those things. So other dimensions में जो भी आपका, that is a possibility. You know, aspects है. I'm like, okay, he's helping us out. Help us clear this. And in your sleep time, you will shift realities.
Yeah, I have consciously changed 3 realities and I have realized ki, fuck, I've just
peeked into that other life and I've come back.
I have stayed there and I've come back because I know I've done that in bachpan mein bhi kiya tha, because I thought I died somewhere. I was like, I was dead, right? Then I came and I was like, no bro, no. Because there is one saying around which I used to hear, you never die, you just quantum leap. Yes. And I'm like, okay, that's nice.
And you experienced it firsthand.
Yeah, and I did, and I was like, okay, this is really crazy, because when you quantum leap, you change your reality in a way that you want.
Absolutely. So the subconscious gives us so much knowledge and so much information. So when beings of high consciousness come into the session, or our light workers who come into the session, so the energy of the participant and the practitioner is so high
right now. it's high.
Yeah. So the level of consciousness that we tap into is again very high. So from that perspective, you start getting all the convoluted universe knowledge. So there are times when the subconscious has taken us to the inception and beginning of time. So they have told us how Earth was formed, how Big Bang happened, how there are multiverses and how many Earths are shown, and how we are part of the cosmos, and how the source sees us from that perspective. So all that knowledge is given. It is profound. Like I would really urge people to experience QHHT.
This taps into three things. One is Doctor Strange, which happened. So it was a reality which was shown actually. That thing happens, and
Yes.
that is reality. How you can see your universe and everything.
Yes.
Second possibility is when you are on a plant-based medicine, which is mushroom, acid, or DMT.
Yes.
That time it happens. And third is when you reach a state of enlightenment in a point where you decide it's samadhi or gyan.
Absolutely.
Two things. So you stay on gyan and you become a guru.
Yes.
That is how you become a healer for this world. Or samadhi people, there are people who I have seen or heard about who have taken samadhi and they are just like exited from that state itself, just sitting in that
Yes.
Padmasan mudra and everything, and just gone. Just gone. And I'm like, nice. So yeah.
So that is again a siddhi, or that ability that you decide when you want to exit. And from which chakra you want to exit. So that is again with a lot of sadhana, with a lot of strict routine diet, sadhana practices. That level we humans, like jo kaam karne wale professionals, and we don't need to go there. All we need to do is live in our truth and understand who we are. Daily life mein just follow these three things. Always speak with an intent. कि क्या इंटेंशन है इस कॉन्वर्सेशन का. हम झगड़ा करते हैं लोगों के साथ, या आपस में लोग लड़ते हैं, उठते ही कहा सुनी, मारपीट, अब्यूजेस, कोई बिना किसी इंटेंशन के. बोलना कुछ होता है, बोलते कुछ है. हम तो बेटा प्यार दिखा रहे हैं, तो कड़वाहट से क्यों बोल रहे हैं ना. सो व्हाट इज योर इंटेंशन? स्टेट दैट क्लियरली. व्हाट इज द पर्पस that we both are going to achieve with that conversation? Have that in mind. And what is the lesson we have to learn? Always have that intent, purpose, and lesson. And then when you operate from that space, you can never falter, because you're mindfully speaking, you're mindfully thinking, you're mindfully addressing and being empathetic towards each other.
That's great. I think so. It was a great podcast for today. I had so much information which I got, and I also tried giving as much information as it is possible. But thank you for coming. Really great information.
It was
passed.
my pleasure, totally, absolutely, for
And
having me
yeah,
here.
and I'll be grateful that if people like this, I'll continue the series with you,
Oh,
and
totally,
we'll be continuing, because that's how the seed is gonna be passed.
Yes, we have to plant the seed and let it take its form and
Totally.
help the earth.
True,
That is
true,
the
true.
overall intention.
Nice.
And the happier, the healthier the people are.
Yep.
It's all in the higher good of the planet.
Nice. So let's end this episode on a good note, guys. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, make sure that you like, subscribe, share करना है तो करो. But if you want to learn more about QHHT, you can tap into ma'am's Instagram account and just DM her directly. She's there. She will help you out. She's based in Pune.
Yes.
I forgot to mention in start, but she's based in Pune and she likes to help people out from there. And then I want you to watch and look after yourself also. So this episode was totally because there was some message was supposed to be passed. ठीक है? Chalo, then I think
If
so.
I can just quickly add
I was gonna say
something.
last message you have, you please pass it through.
Yes. So I would like to, what I do is we create awareness around hypnosis, because बहुत लोगों को ये डर है. Hypnosis मतलब क्या मैं बंदर बन जाऊंगा, क्या मुझसे कुछ करवाया जाएगा, क्या मैं hypnotize हो सकता हूँ, और हो गया तो क्या मैं वहीं अटका रहूंगा, क्या मैं बाहर आऊंगा. तो ये सारे myths burst करने के लिए I conduct 2 workshops every month. It's a group hypnosis. एक group setup में हम सबका consciousness we take into a past life. We show you and let you experience. It's an experiential session. Let you experience how
is
safe.
it online?
It's an offline session in a group setup. And Bombay में भी होगा जल्दी. May I'm planning one. And Pune every month 2 sessions I conduct. So, come and experience this. It's an experiential safe session. So we take your consciousness into a past lifetime. You get to experience, understand why whatever happened. Then we take your consciousness to a higher realm and let you meet your master, your guide, your angel, spirit guide, and get a message from them that they have for you. And for a fun exercise, we also take you into a future lifetime, So it's a very nice experience for 2 hours. I would really love if you would come and be part of it.
Yeah,
and
I'll come.
Yeah, and people also.
I booked, sold. Sold.
So the details are always there on my website.
You can share me. I'll put in description and
Yes,
people can join in directly.
yes. Website पे होते हैं, मेरे Insta page पे है, तो details आप वहाँ से मिल सकते हैं. And I'm always available on a call or email. So,
ठीक है.
yes.
Works absolutely. So that's it for today, guys. If you liked it, you know what you can do. So ठीक है. If you want membership, it is just for 89 rupees. You can buy it down. Links description में. And if you want to connect with me, you can DM me directly or mail me, whatever it is. So thank you for sharing, ma'am. And let's bye bye Shabaka. Take care, whatever it is, and peace out.